Pinch punch, it's the first of the month, Monday the 1st of November. I'm FX Blue and this is the market brief. So we have the Bank of England MPC meeting this week. The market is keen for an official update to how Andrew Bailey and his colleagues view rising inflation. Last week, the Office for Budget Responsibility published its bi-monthly report, and that speculated inflation could average around 4% in 2022, and the peak could even be 5%. Punchy stuff. Inflation is up to the second highest level since 2012, and pressure is growing to bring that back under control. Several banks have even published forecasts that expect a rate hike at this meeting. I'm not so sure about that. I wonder if they'd be better served reducing all the extra money that they're pumping into the system via QE first. But if anyone understands the logic of raising rates first, please do explain in the comments. I can't quite get my head around it. In the market, sterling had a pretty mixed bag last week. We traded between 136.70 and 138.30 against the dollar, widely supported by domestic rate expectations, but it was also reactive to US data and how the Fed may react to weaker growth. With central bank meetings both sides of the pond and non-farm Friday before the weekend, this week could get a bit fruity. We kicked things off around 136.50 against the dollar and 118.20 against the euro. Now, over in the US, Powell may fall foul of being a little too candid about the Fed's plans. It does remain highly likely that the Fed will start to taper support this week, but the slump in GDP data last week has called that into question. Fans of the brief will remember how Q3 was always expected to report slower growth than Q2, but the data came out 2/3 lower. That has set alarm bells ringing in Washington, making the Fed decision a much harder one for them to grapple with this week. To help steer discussions, they will have the first cut of the employment data to provide a little more colour. If you happen to know anyone at the Fed, be sure to noise them up before we host the sweepstake on Non-Farm Friday. There's a degree of optimism just bubbling away about employment at the moment, though. But with the trend in the headline numbers, I mean, that hasn't been so great of late. So it does rather support the suggestion that the September number may actually be revised higher. Make of that what you will, though. The headline number will remain a cruel mistress for 99% of us sweepstakers. But that's all part of the fun. Toodaloo.
If you do not have a clue, then just tweet through and ask FX Blue.